It says the stream is live. We're live.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I am at the helm only for a few minutes until the lovely Shelley gets back. So, hello. Hi. Welcome to the Simply Together show today. And it is the 23rd of April. It's St. George's Day. And we're going to be talking about St. George's Day and everything that is St. George, possibly. But what's it out there? It's okay. It's a bit rainy, waiting for the sun, but it's okay. How are you doing, Nikkei?
I'm good, thank you. I'm just a little bit, as I was telling you before we went now, a little bit hyped up. I'm still shocked at how speedily the year is going, but yes, I'm good. We thank God.
It's going quite quickly, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Quicker than it needs to be, but there you go. So I've got a couple of things before we start. Was looking at a young lady's story this morning. The young lady in question is Louise Clark. We know her very well on our show.
Louise, if you're watching.
Hi, Louise. And what she said this morning kind of just resonated with me. So she said she was talking about comfort zones and stepping outside your comfort zone and doing those things that you want to go and do that you haven't done. But what she said was comfort zones are where your dreams go to die.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
It is because you just get used to something, and the comfort zone becomes your procrastination tool.
Yep.
Oh, I won't do this because I want to do this. I won't do that because I want to do that. Oh, life is lifing. And, like all of those things are going to go somewhere. We have to eat every day. We have to go to work every day. We have to do all these things every day. That's never going to change. Well, it will change when we can do our pension, but you know what I mean. And
what pension? What pension are you talking about? But that's a whole different show. But yes,
it is indeed. But I'd like to think that I'm only a few years away from it. They can't change it that drastically before then.
Maybe. But yes, it's comfort zones are where your dreams go to die. Hello.
So many guises. Hello, Shelley. Oh, Shelley, I like your hair.
She's got new hair.
Oh, wow. Check you out.
Look at you, gorgeous lady. You need to come into mute.
Yes, I'm rushing around to get back.
Well, we went into it today without the ticker because I clicked the wrong thing, but we're here. It's fine. I don't know if you heard that. Comfort zones are where your dreams go to die.
Yes.
What a thing.
I know Shelley would agree. I think that's just such an amazing way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. So that was from Louise. So Louise said that on her story this morning. So if anybody doesn't know Louise, it's very much like this. I don't know why you don't know Louise. Anybody who lives in Luton knows Louise. And she's doing some fabulous stuff. But you need to go and have a look. I know. You need to go and have a look at her stories and her website because, that this morning, just reading that, it's just like, could you just stay in that?
Yeah, because my analogy that I quite often use is that the life is life with all those things is basically the opportunity cost of your dreams. And sometimes the dreams are not even necessarily really so massive that everything is insurmountable, but they just seem that way to us. Yeah.
And that's why people stay in that comfort zone, because in their head, that dream or stepping outside of that is so hard. It's so hard. And it's easier to find all the reasons why you don't need to step out than find all the reasons why you do need to step out. So yes, so that was the one that I heard this morning. You had one, didn't you, Nico?
Yeah, so I was listening to Robert Greene. He wrote this book called The Laws of Human Nature. I'm listening to it for the second time. It's amazing. I love it. And he said is that gratitude is a muscle, and if we don't use it, it's going to atrophy. And I thought to myself, yeah, that's true. I mean, I just love all these fancy ways of saying simple, straightforward things. Basically, don't take life for granted. And
Yeah.
one of the things he was saying in there, this was in a chapter about envy, actually. And the main protagonist of this story that he used was about Mary Shelley, the lady who wrote Frankenstein. She was only 19 when she wrote it. Imagine that.
19.
Yeah, she was 19.
Mm.
And he was talking about the fact that most people have envy within them. It's just that we've learned socially to curtail it. And he was saying that a lot of the time we're looking forward to the people who have got things that we think we might want, that rather that we should step back. And that's where he started talking about gratitude, that we should look in the other direction at the people who are looking at us.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it was just interesting. Honestly, I would definitely recommend that book. Audible, I would think is definitely better because there's like 24 in there. You've got the Mary Shelley in there. You've got the Coco Chanel story in there. You've got the story of the Walt Disney protagonist in there. All sorts of really fantastic stories. And
what's the name of it again?
The 24 Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene.
Okay. Maybe that'll be on my list.
Yeah.
Well, I've got so many on my list and so many books in my bookcase that I haven't read.
I know, I'm just as bad. I try not to buy physical books now.
Oh, sometimes you have to have a physical book.
I know, sometimes you do.
You know,
I'll buy the Audible first, and if I really like it, or if there are exercises in there that I need to do, and I don't want to do it off the PDF, then I will buy the book.
Okay.
And obviously, if any of us produce a book, I will buy the book without question.
I've got 2 books in my carry-on bag ready.
Ooh. What books are those?
God, I don't know.
Any of them about St. George?
Sorry? No, there's nothing in there about St. George. So we're going to talk about St. George's Day, stroke St. George. What does that mean for you? So anybody who's out there, drop us a message, let us know. What does that mean for you? It's St. George's Day today. Do you go out to celebrate? Do you, what is it that you do? What does it mean? And I must admit, as much as I am, if anybody says to me, where do you come from? I say I'm English. And then I do the rest of it as well. Right.
Really?
But primarily, I've born here, lived here the whole of my life. So I say I'm English. Do I know about St. George? Not really. I'm looking at it thinking, oh, okay, I didn't know that. So where did this all come from? How is it that he has this day named after him?
I was reading about it just before we came on. The first thing, and I knew this, so I don't know why it surprised me, because I've always known that the man was it Greek or Roman?
Greek, I think, but
I think
Roman in the sense of where he was.
Yeah, because he fought in the one of the Roman somethings or the other.
Yeah.
And it's just his reach is quite wide as well. So he is noted in the Islamic faith as well.
Yeah.
And apparently during the reformist times, oh my God, I think I should go back to uni. I only read this 10 minutes ago and I'm remembering it. Do you think I could learn something new?
Yes.
No, I was just joking. But no, sincerely, during the reformist times, apparently, I can't remember who was in charge of the UK at the time, what was the UK, they were England at the time. They got rid of a lot of the saints, but that one was kept. So to me, even reading all of that, how it came to me, I was reading it on Wikipedia, it still seemed a bit strange. I didn't get to the bit where he slayed the dragon.
So where
That
does that?
story
Where
comes
does
later.
that? Say that again.
That story comes later. It's basically the story that was part of it was to show the battle between good and evil, because St. George he stood his ground. He stood his ground for his own beliefs. And that's the reason why he became a saint. So it's more to do with like the honor and that kind of battle, that where the George and the dragon thing comes from as a
right. So it's
story.
a mythical story. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Hi, Sandra Moore.
So
Sandra said he was half Turkish, half Palestinian.
Because he's actually celebrated in Portugal and Catalonia, and there's a couple of other places as well.
Wow.
He's celebrated as a saint. So I presume that was kind of like where his heritage originally then came from. One of the things that I read was, because he wasn't English, he actually never ever visited England.
Yes. Yeah. I read that as well.
But do you think that is linked to the fact that a lot of the people who have ruled England,
why have we got a day for him?
I could have possibly
say that again.
So who are you saying that to?
I think Nike's on a loop.
Oh, right.
Well, Nike just said something about the people that ruled England. What did you say?
Oh yeah, then I stopped because I wanted to hear what Shelley was saying. I said, well, that is kind of keeping with a lot of the fact that a lot of where we think we come from is not necessarily true. We know that now with all this DNA stuff. But I was just thinking we've got people from various parts of the world that are now English. So I don't think it's anything big. But I don't know. We celebrate, like I was saying to you before we went live, we do generally celebrate St. George at church. And I think sometimes if it falls at the weekend, then we would bring red and white food.
I mean, so with quite a lot of the stuff from St. George, is it literally just like the martyrdom kind of thing that it then came from? Because not only have we got St. George's Day, you've also then got the Order of the Garter.
Yeah.
Which, if you then you may have seen recently with the king coming to the throne and all of those changes on who can actually wear the robes and stuff.
Okay.
With the St. George's cross, and it is again all back to of what he actually then did and what he stood up for.
Okay, so here's a question then. Oh, a question and a statement. Because if you go on Wikipedia, it says that St. George's Day is or was a major feast, and it's on par with Christmas Day. It's not anymore, is it really?
No, because obviously Christmas is the day before. It's in December.
You can't, the veg in Tesco's is not down to 29p over the weekend ready for today, like it is over Christmas.
But I think
because St. George's
in church, it is celebrated as a feast, which
most
of the celebrations of the saints is a feast. And obviously, if you happen to be if your church has happened to be named after that, then it will be your patronal festival. So our patronal festival is always for St. Mary, because we are St. Mary's. So it would be a feast, and it would be important on a par, but obviously with the way we Christianity is celebrated now, it wouldn't wash as being on a par with Christmas, because it's not commercialized.
The feast, if you, from what I know, it was always the feast day of St. George.
Yeah.
Until the 1400s, where it was St. George's Day became a feast day on the English calendar.
Right. Okay.
That's where it's then changed. So it was always a feast day because that's the day of his martyrdom, if you like, of what actually then happened. Because he was then a saint, sort of, what you're talking about, 1,000 years before we actually then became like a holiday, a feast day or whatever.
Okay.
You saying about it being a Christian, because it is a Christian thing. For me, St. George's Day was always a day that you would parade as a scout.
Yeah.
And that in Luton has now not taken place for many years.
Because? Oh, we're getting political.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
Why
not?
Yeah.
It's something that as a guide, we was never allowed to really parade, because if you go way back to scouting and guiding was very much it was a little club that you learned how to do things in guides. You didn't do the big things that the boys were doing. So you would always have the parade, like for the scouts, and doing a full on proper parade. For scouting, right when I was a Venture Scout, we would take it in turns that you would do the parade at St. Mary's, and you would parade all the way through the square, like from St. George's Square to the church, as your unit, as your flag. And it would be all the different generations that would then be there. I'm not sure just how many years. I had a look on my mate Amanda's site, and Jake was a cub, so you're talking 10 years ago. I think
they stopped.
Time. Then it stopped. Whether that be because it wasn't as popular, scouting is still popular.
Yeah.
Whether that be that it is, they were asked not to because of other because it's then not a political parade. It is an actual parade. It's a church parade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that becomes really difficult though, because I was talking to my friend yesterday, and when I mentioned it, and she didn't have very complimentary things to say about the flag, for example. And I said, well, the flag is a flag.
What's not complimentary about the flag? What do you mean?
Well, she felt that the flag can be seen as racist.
Because
and I
it's
said,
been
it's not the
taken
flag.
off of, yeah.
Yeah, I said, she said she believes it was as racist as the Union Jack could be. I said, but at the end of the day, those are just symbols. The fact that some people might hijack it and say this is ours, it doesn't really matter, because it represents the country. And it was a very interesting conversation, because I just said that I know that people think that. I said, but for me, that is the English flag, and the flag by itself cannot be anything. It is just a flag.
It is one of the flags, if you look at all flags, that will be changed for whatever football team, for political statements, for as we've seen just recently with the whole kind of immigration thing and everything else, to have things put onto a flag. The St. George's Cross is that. That's the one that always changes.
Okay.
So does that mean that if I were to, well, not that I would, but like, for example, what I'm
Just
trying
say
to
it.
get my
Just
head
say it.
around.
Just say it. Whatever you were gonna say,
No, yeah,
say it.
no, it didn't make sense. If you know how my thoughts work, you know that sometimes it doesn't make sense. It's not that I'm worried about saying something political. But my point is that for me, if I saw a group of, let me just say, guys who like National Front or whatever, I can't remember the latest one, the English Defence League or whatever, carrying that flag, I wouldn't think about the flag. I'll be more concerned about the people carrying it. Think, oh my God, this could happen. But I wouldn't then go somewhere else and see somebody else, like maybe football fans carrying it, and think, oh, they must be racist because they're carrying the flag. The
But
flag is
some
just,
people might.
yeah, but some
Some
people
people
might.
might
Obviously,
though.
that's what we
Yeah.
took away from there. Because I remember, I can't remember which one it was, whether it was Tony Blair or somebody there. Because I do remember that part of their thing was to say, they're taking back the flag, that the flag is for everybody. And I think the flag should be for everybody. If you identify as British or you identify as English, like you said, then you should be able to wear that flag.
Yeah. It kind of takes me over to the States and the use of their flag, and where you have
The
racist
Confederate flag.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And they've got their
that is
flag up.
because,
And quite often that means something very specific.
yeah. But
So you
that's
bring it
not their
over here,
national
that's
flag,
the same
though.
kind of thing, though.
Yeah. But they have a specific. Okay, I'm saying the same thing, really, but I do know that they have the Confederate flag, which is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
represents those people. Whereas to me, I look at the St. George's flag as something that was hijacked. It wasn't something that they made. It wasn't that the people were there as a did you say racist? As a racist organization and said, right, we're going to design our brand and this is it. They just took part of the national identity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a flag that's so easy to then say this is where I'm from. It's the English flag, and have this. Oh, it's giving you the space to actually put stuff on it, and because we've got our nations that then go into the Union Jack. So we've got two flags that's for our country, and to break that down, sometimes they don't deem an England flag to be as sacred as a Union Jack. But don't get me started on Union Jacks, because you can get the Union Jack the right way round up. There is a way up for a Union flag.
Yeah, I just think everything is so mismatched, because the sound is written there, flags are being demonized, but I think it's just everything. It's almost as if I don't think there's anything wrong in celebrating these things, but it's almost as if you do, then it's taken as if you represent something that is deemed to be negative. So if I were to come in with a Union, I've got bandanas, Union Jack bandanas, and I never thought anything of them. I just like the colours, red, white, and blue. And
with wearing a flag, some people don't particularly like it. Some older people don't. So you all of a sudden you're putting your T-shirt on and it's your flag. But you could be wearing your flag. I don't particularly like having, like, when they don the flags around them. But with the St. George's Cross, what they tend to do is to actually add stuff to that flag. So they'll say Luton Town Football Club. They'll put it will be sort of like all of the racist remarks that get put onto it. To me, that is then one step.
That is not the to me, if I saw a St. George's Cross with, just for argument's sake, the English Defence League written in one of the corners, that is no longer the St. George's Cross. That is their flag.
Yeah.
I would then, and I know not everybody is that decided or can take it that way, but I just think, because really, truly, you can't paint it colours, can you? So, you could take a white piece of paper and do that, and then put that on the top. That doesn't necessarily mean that the normal pure St. George's Cross is that flag, because they've defamed it. They've not defamed it. What's the word? They've marked. They've put
I
that
think
mark on it, so it's not the same.
Yeah, because you some people just don't think about flags possibly the same way that I would have done, because I've paraded, I've held like the different flags, and I've held the standard for like whatever unit that I was in. So our scouts, our guides, every unit has their flag, and when you start off in the different, if you start off in the different units and then of a meeting, scouts do it slightly differently to guides. But if you go to Jake's Scouts, for instance, they've now gone back to the flag is there, and they break the flag. They break open a flag, and you're brought back to just
what does that mean? Sorry, can I just? What does that mean?
So
when
the
you
flag is rolled up. Flag is rolled up, and the rope is around it, and you hoist it up. So if it was a pole outside, you'd be hoisting it up outside, or indoors. You've got the little bit, and shows you if the scouts know they're not. What you then do is you do the quick tug, and it unfurls. So you break out the flag. The flag breaks itself. So it's opening. We do it a lot with guiding, when you're camping. You open up the day and you close the day. Yeah. So there's different songs that are sung, and there's flags that go up and down. So for some people, a flag could just be a flag. A flag could be, as Sandra said, that you're for your country. You're showing off where you're coming from. You're proud of your flag. So you've got that kind of thing. But then, some people wouldn't necessarily have the same way that I was brought up, that the flag kind of, it meant something. When you were
it does.
when you was at church parade or doing the big parade through town, to be asked to hold on to that flag is a big thing.
Deal. Yeah.
So again, the flag, or St. George's Cross, then also came way after he was a crusader or fighting in the battles, etc. Okay, so then they've decided to name that cross, the red cross on the white background, on the flag. They've decided to name that the St. George's Cross. It wasn't something that he wore when he was fighting.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think everything about it is post, isn't it? And that's the thing. Again? I said everything about it is after the events.
Yeah.
Isn't the St. George's flag a part of the? That's what I was just trying to look at. Part of the Crusades. So where you've got the knights. The knights thing. So if it was, because St. George was never a knight, but they've taken him as his story, and then put it into the knights wearing.
Oh my god!
It's how it's all kind of like put the story in together, and it all kind of like is woven up.
So did they do this in history at school? Because okay, that's fine then. I know I wasn't brilliant at school, but I don't remember doing this.
I used to really like history.
This was not done at school. Because I'm sure I would have clocked on that the fact that this guy is not even English anyway.
Yeah, but they might not have taught it all in that way, you see.
Sandra did it at school. Sandra did it at school.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Or maybe you just had a different curriculum.
I would have thought so. We're so close in age that it should have been the same. So
I think it was, the way education was run when we were of school age is slightly different now.
Oh, she did all the saints.
So, yeah.
I clearly didn't do that. But like I said, I might not have been listening.
Yeah,
So,
so where it goes to, like where you said there, so if you break it down, the Union Jack, this is just me now. So obviously we've got St. David for Wales, right? Is it
mhm,
St. David that's Wales?
mhm.
And then what does Scotland have?
She did it as part of RE.
Yeah,
Oh
I
no,
was
we didn't
about
do
to
that.
say it was part of RE. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to ask
Wow.
you if it was part of RE.
So
So
maybe,
because obviously
Andrew,
you've got the
Andrew
Red Cross there.
it's St Andrew for Scotland.
Oh yeah, St. Andrew, that's it. So theirs is the blue cross that goes like that.
yeah,
That goes across the diagonals.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then the English one is the red. Then what does the Welsh where does the Welsh one come? Is that just background just white?
Have they?
So,
What's the
the
Welsh?
Because I thought the Union
The
Jack
Welsh
was made up
flag,
of all the flags.
yeah, the Welsh flag is not identifiable in the Union Jack, but it is by the colours.
Yeah.
Because it's the other cross that's then on there that goes the other way. Because the Welsh flag is the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. Interesting. But you see, when you were going back to flags meaning something, I just wanted to make an example. So at Taekwondo, for example, when we're doing grading and competitions, they will have so Taekwondo originated from Korea, right? And so you've got the Korean flag there, and then with that one there, they've got all the bits, and we have to, don't ask me what it means because I forgot it. Okay, I did my that exam like 5 years ago. But we have to learn all of those things. They all mean things, and they all have bits of Taekwondo that reflect that. So I don't know. To me, I just think a flag could mean anything and nothing and something to many different people.
But that's the whole point, though, isn't it? Because actually, for some people, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. To others, it is proud and being there in their house, outside their house, and then for others, it's just a flag, So people can look at the Union Jack, and for some of them, they won't even be able to see that actually Scotland, Wales, they won't see that in there. No. They'll just see the Union Jack. Whereas other people can actually say that that's what's in that flag.
Yeah.
So for some, it doesn't make any it doesn't have the same feeling. It doesn't have the same feeling. I did parades because I was in the Girls Brigade, so I've carried the flags as well, the same as Shelley. And there's something kind of it feels very important when you're doing that. You're doing something quite special when you're walking along with this flipping flag that's up like this, and you've got to make sure
like that.
Yeah, but it's quite an honor to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it still should be. I think.
But I think it is. I think for those who do that, whether that's scouting, whether that's, I don't know, whether it's to do with a specific day, those who do that carry that flag with meaning. Whether it's what she put, the Union flag right way up.
The right way up.
So if I click on that, is that going to show on the bottom there or not?
No, if I open this up and then if I click, if I go in and no.
Did you see me doing the banners? Not
oh my God.
I'm still learning, people. I'm still learning.
It's good.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh.
So while Shelley's looking at that, then, so
this is. Can you see the difference in that?
Oh, I'm gonna have to pick that up. Hang on.
Yeah. So is that round the other way then?
Yeah, that is upside down.
Okay,
so when you look at a flag, you'll always got the points on one side, haven't you? So whether it's attached to your little stick, or whether it's an actual flag that's then got the loops or the bit where the pole goes into, you can. And it has happened in the armed services, which is what this is on Forces News, where it's actually gone the wrong way up. So you've put your, because you're both sides, aren't you, on a flag? put their ropes in, the toggles in the wrong way
Wrong
round.
way. Yeah.
Now, if you look at the wrong way up, there's all these other kind of stories that a ship could put that flag up the wrong way around to then say that they're under attack, that they've actually been taken hostage.
But it's so hard to
there's
tell.
all those kind of stories that come up with actually having the flag the wrong way up. But I always personally remember that if you look in the top left hand corner, that red bit is attached to the pole. If you think that's the way the red's gone into that's attached to the pole. So that means that's actually the flag's going to stay up. Don't ask me why I remembered it that way. That is the way I remembered, because I was never, ever going to be that one in Scouts that was going to put the flag up wrong. So it's that the red bit that goes up that way is the bit that's attached to the pole, and that's how it's
really interesting. I'll have to really, really look at that to see the difference. If I were to walk past one way, it's upside down, I wouldn't know the difference. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. You might now, because now you'll look at it and you'll look to see if it's the right way up. Now that we've been shown.
I don't know, because even now I'm really having to concentrate to see, well, what is the difference? And
there's a difference. There's a difference.
I can see it, but at a glance, there's no way I would see it.
So I've got a question then, and it might seem like a stupid question.
No stupid questions.
And it's not meant to be a stupid question, but there are no stupid questions, are there? So do you think that some of the English people, which I said was me, actually think that this guy was English and actually fought in England and slayed the dragon? Do you think they actually believe that?
I don't think anyone would actually know the reason why, because if you think about it, St. Paddy's Day, it's the story that becomes part of the stories of who he was is, and again, he wasn't Irish, was he?
Was he not?
No.
So I've got work to do this afternoon. I need to go and research that one, because Sandra has put on there.
He's another one that wasn't Irish. Yeah.
Sandra has put on there St. Patrick was very interesting. So I need to go and have a look at that, because I just presumed he was a paddy.
That whole story comes as part of it. St. George's, because St. George's Day's fallen off, no one really knows about St. George other than George and the Dragon, which wasn't actually his actual story. Yeah, it is a strange one. And perhaps that's one of the reasons why St. George's Day is just kind of fallen off. People are not marking it or anything.
I think it just depends on. I think for me, I think St. George's fallen off because I always link it to a church thing. So it stands the reason that would have fallen off in that sense.
Yeah, it's not the drinking thing, is it? It's the church thing. St. Andrew's Day is another one it's the drinking thing, and I can't remember his story either. Why St. Andrew?
What's controversial, Sandra? Can you let me know what's controversial?
Was
that the question of they're not being Irish? Do the English people actually think that St. George was English and fought in England, and is that what's controversial? Right, so who do I need to research? St. Andrew, St. Patrick. Is that it?
Yeah.
Two.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's why I kept I was about to open my mouth and said, I just thought, oh, Nicky, that's even worse, because you're not even talking about people's feelings. I have seen, but I've generally clicked out of them simply because I just think sometimes it just gets a bit much. I know we want to know the truth. I know we want to know our history. I know we want to understand and forge forward so that we can, rule the world with diversity, etc. But sometimes the negative stories from heroes past I find them a little bit overwhelming, and I just think, actually, I think I'm going to keep my romantic glasses on and think of them as these wonderful heroes who came and saved everybody. That's why we all love them. I don't want to know that that there might have been whatever bad thing that you can think of. I don't want to know that it was that.
I do remember
Sometimes.
now JP actually saying about St. Patrick's Day. You know, our friend JP Boxing Saves Lives. I do remember him saying about St. Patrick's Day because I've just Googled it. Because he's part of slavery, as in the Irish kidnapped him from Britain and took him over there and was put into slavery.
Okay. I need to read that one.
Yeah.
I need to read that one.
Now when I first read that first line, I then suddenly remember JP saying about similarities and stuff.
So, Sandra Moore, can you send me a voice note with your controversial side, and then I will then share that. You can share it to Shelley and Nikkei as well. Actually, I don't know why I'm going to share it. If you can send us a voice note of what your thoughts are, not on afterwards, because we're not putting it on the show afterwards. That's fine, because I'm just interested to find out. But I need to read about St. Patrick as well, because I didn't know, because I don't know. That's why. It's not because I just don't know. I didn't know.
You can't know everything. You can't know everything, and at the end of the day, sometimes the way things are taught, etc., they can't teach everything in its pure form for various reasons.
I'm glad I'm making you laugh, Sandra. So let's wrap this up then.
Yeah, St. Andrew just was a normal saint. He was
he okay then?
He just went round and taught the gospel. That was his normal, and he had an X-shaped cross because he didn't want the same as Christ. He didn't want that. He got crucified on not on the upright cross, but the X cross.
Right.
Which is why you now have see? That's why you have St. Andrew's flag. That's why the cross is that way.
It's that way. Right. Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Okay.
See, every day's a school day. That's why you should listen to us every day.
I don't know what that means. It is the voice note.
I think she's just laughing at the fact that you've asked for a voice note.
Oh! I still want the voice note, whether I'm making you laugh or not.
Yes, miss.
So, okay, let's wrap this up. We started off with comfort zones are where your dreams go to die. So you need to remember that one. Comfort zones are where your dreams go to die, because that is just so spot on. It's literally St. George's Day today. Go and celebrate however you want to celebrate, whether you're going through the town with a white hat with a red cross on it, which I don't think people do, but maybe we need to start that up for next year.
What kind of white hat with the red cross are you talking about? Because
the green. Come on, the green felt hats that they wear for Paddy's Day as they're walking through the town, singing and what have you. We need to do that for Sir George, don't we? Do we not? Come on.
What, you mean like the wizardry hat?
No, a felt
just any old hat.
Any hat with a red cross on.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's the white. It's the white.
There's no particular hat.
Forgive me.
Are you going? We're not. See, now you're calling it a wizard's hat. I would call it something else with a letter repeated 3 times. Let's not talk about those hats. Those hats are not what we're talking about.
What is Cecile saying here? I'm like, oh my God.
I am not saying that. I was talking about the felt hats that people wear on Paddy's Day that are green. They're square, circular kind of things. Not like that. Not
Nike's brain
That's not
was
where I'm going. Oh my Lord.
I'm sure yours hasn't started for less, but never mind.
Go and
Not at once. That's what it is.
celebrate. However you want to celebrate, it's fine.
Yes.
Go and enjoy yourself.
What
Oh
are you
dear.
guys doing? Are you guys celebrating?
No, not till I get a hat.
See, St. George's Day is slightly different in our house. Well, in our family, it's the day that my granddad died, so we do something slightly different than St. George's Day. So we kind of celebrate St. George's Day, I suppose, in a way. But I think the whole of our family would be ended up with a whiskey tonight. So or brandy. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm just going to say one more thing about you're waiting to get a hat, Mr. Sill. That kind of takes us back to the beginning. So what? You can't celebrate St. George's Day? You see? So you're dreaming of celebrating St. George's Day. You're putting it off because you do not have a hat. That's procrastination. That's staying inside your comfort zone.
But wearing of a St. George's Day hat is not one of my dreams. So I'm not staying in my comfort zone. It's not one of my dreams.
I'm glad you rebutted that, but I just, it just sounds like
it is not a dream of mine to be walking through the town wearing a hat with a white hat with a red cross on it. That is not a dream of mine. I can do it if people want me to. Not on my own.
It's like
Somebody would be with me. Somebody would be with me. Possibly Sandra, Nike. I can name many people. I'm not going on my own.
Talking about flags, I've just realised I could actually be accused of wearing the Nigerian flag here.
Oh,
the Nigerian flag is green, white, green. Up Nigeria.
And as a new Nigerian of maybe 2 years, I didn't even know what flag that was. I still don't even know what flag that is. But I will learn that one because that is now my heritage. So I will have a look at that.
We claim you. Even,
you've claimed me, I know. So definitely. Next week, oh God, it just disintegrates, doesn't it? It just disintegrates. So next week, Shelley, actually, not me. Shelley will be showing a video of a local. So there's a So there's a band. They're called Funk Odyssey. My cousin is the singer. Lovely guys playing in the band, and they are going to be supporting Sister Sledge this year.
Where? When?
St Albans, somewhere else. I'll give you all the details, but I know there's one in St Albans and there is Essex and somewhere else, but they are supporting Sister Sledge. So obviously I'm gonna I can't get them on because they're all busy, so we're going to do a video. We're going to show that next week because obviously my cousin is there and she sings and she's a Luton girl. And they're a Bedford. Most of the other guys are from Bedford, so they're local. They're local.
We like that.
Yes. So we're going to get them on next week. Sandra said we could be related. 15% Nigerian DNA. How much is my percentage, Nike? Because you know it off the top of your head.
Wasn't it 23%?
I think it's 21%. I am Nigerian.
Like 20 something. So you see, Miss Sandra Moore, when you're 50% of Nigerian, you come back and tell me that you like Ghanaian jollof better. We will have a conversation.
Oh no, not the jollof was. Not the jollof was.
Jokes, the jollof was.
Are you related to me, or are you related to Nike? I think you're related to me. Nike's just going to fight you over the jollof. Right. See you all next week. Same time, 12 o'clock.
Bye.
You'll have to end it, Shelley, because I've got two hands waving. Yeah.